Good afternoon and welcome to the June 25th Money Mondays with the City of Stillwater. My name is Megan Kasak and I'm here with Chief Financial Officer Melissa Reams. Thank you for joining us again, Melissa.
Thanks for having me, Megan. What's our topic today?
Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about the Stillwater Reinvestment Plan.
Okay.
And just kind of some of the frequently asked questions and just what to expect going forward.
Okay.
So first things first, if you were explaining the Stillwater Reinvestment Plan to someone, how would you explain it?
Well, actually, in reviewing, the city has done a lot of plans in the past. Mm-hmm. One in particular that gets mentioned off and on is the PUMA plan. And in that plan, there were suggestions and guidelines for certain financing mechanisms to help propel the city forward. One of those, a business improvement district, was actually implemented in 2007. It was a 10-year district, and if our viewers will remember, that district expired last August. We can have another business improvement district at any time. It's just going to take input from citizens who want to support a business improvement district to the council to kind of help get the ball rolling. So that was a piece of the PUMA plan that we actually implemented and had success with. You talk to people about downtown and they remember how downtown was dying back in the early 2000s, and the bid came along and it was one of the pieces that helped revitalize downtown. The reinvestment plan is in the form of a tax increment financing district, a little bit different than a bid, and it is going to strike a baseline for ad valorem tax values at a certain date, and then any of those tax values that are greater than that baseline are going to be captured and moved into a separate fund that will be used to finance growth within the defined district. So again, it's a financing mechanism, and it is a piece that was mentioned in the PUMA plan to help propel the downtown area in particular and the campus area forward.
All right. And so what is like the boundary of the plan?
Oh, well, I'm going to have to read. I kind of have a visual of what it is in my head, but it's like giving people directions.
Yeah.
I have to read it. So it's bounded as follows. On the west, Hall of Fame Avenue. On the north, West Hall of Fame Avenue on the north, so Hall of Fame. And then on the south, on the north, South Lowry Street on the east, 15th Street on the south, and then Washington Street on the west. I know that's confusing. If you'll go out to our stillwater.org website, there's a really simple map out there that will let our listeners see for themselves just exactly what the boundaries are. But it's if you'll think of that connection between OSU and downtown, which to 15th Street, that's the area that we're talking about.
All right. And how is the community as a whole going to be impacted with this?
The community as a whole, we are hoping, is number one, going to see a revitalization of that area in the downtown and up to the campus. Revitalization comes in lots of forms. It can be new businesses that bring jobs to the city. By bringing jobs that will employ people here, they may not be actually buying, they are not, it's not a direct sales tax relationship, but they are the people that are going to be buying here in Stillwater. So we're getting some secondary type effects to sales tax. Not to mention that they're buying homes, they're living their lives here, their kids are going to school. It's all of that growth in a community that people look for. Secondarily, we're hoping that it brings in new businesses that add that flavor to Stillwater that people look for. It could be a Charleston's restaurant. That one's high on everybody's list. We continue to look towards that. We're hoping that there will be unique shopping and restaurant opportunities that make Stillwater more of that destination location, not just when the football games are going on.
All right. And has Stillwater ever had a TIF before?
We have had a sales tax TIF.
Okay.
And if our viewers and listeners will remember, the Academy out on North Perkins is in the form of a sales tax TIF. And so how that was structured, that was a vacant lot out there, was I think appraised at that point in time between $450,000 and $500,000, vacant lot. Now that is worth over $17 million according to the tax assessor's rules. So that's all ad valorem, okay? City doesn't get any of that with the minor exception of our sinking fund. What also happened out there is that vacant lot had zero sales tax being generated off of it. Now it has quite a lot of sales tax being generated in the form of Academy, Walmart, the Little Murphy's gas station, and there's still 2 more out parcels out there. Those sales tax dollars are captured, or we record those, and then we split that in half, the 2 cents of undedicated sales tax, and that penny is going back to the developer to pay for the infrastructure improvements that he made up front on the property out there.
All right. And so is there anything else that you kind of like to explain a little bit more in depth about how this plan will work, or a frequently asked question you've heard?
It's not a new tax. It is in anticipation of increased property taxes. Okay. It would be taxes that would be there as the value of property increases due to new activity in the area. So it's not a new tax. It's not something that has been assessed against the property. It would happen in the natural growth cycle of property. It is going to be in a sole and separate fund, and it is going to have some very specific uses, and they're specific in that they are outlined in the Local Development Act in the state statute 62. So it's not like any of us could come in and say, oh, we need this for this. It has to be very specific uses. Mm-hmm. And so I want the viewers to know that this is not a way for the city to augment the general fund. That is not what's happening at all. We are hoping to help spur redevelopment and reinvestment.
All right. If there's nothing else maybe to add, or
Can we talk about who is affected and the taxing jurisdictions that get some of the money in the 12%?
Okay. Yeah. Well, the taxing jurisdictions here in Stillwater are, of course, the city of Stillwater, Stillwater Public Schools, Payne County Health Department, and Meridian Technologies. I think I got everybody. So what we are doing is asking those taxing authorities to defer their right to the increased ad valorem tax. They're not giving up their right. We're just saying, would you agree to partner with the city and defer your right to those future ad valorem taxes? Now, the way the plan was written, the 12% each year of the increment, the difference between the baseline that was struck when the plan goes into place and where the taxes actually hit each year, the 12% of that increment is going to go back to Stillwater Public School. They're going to share this pot of 12% back to Stillwater Public Schools, Payne County Health, and Meridian Technologies. So they are still getting to share a percentage of that growth in ad valorem tax. And then they're going to get all of the induced growth that's outside of the area. Because our hope is that if you revitalize this interior, that revitalization is going to spread out and you'll see this induced growth outside the area. What else, Jasmine?
I was just that, and then who pays the taxes and who's affected? You spoke about.
Well, who pays the taxes? The property owners would pay the tax just like they normally do. If your property appreciates, you're going to pay more tax. From a personal note, this was the year that my home was, the county assessor came out and appraised my home. Guess what? My taxes went up. And so it's just that normal course of what's going on. I think it's a good thing that you have property that's worth more than it was. Yes, you're going to have to pay a little more out of your pocket, but isn't that why you own property? You know, to have it appreciate in value.
Well, of course, you can learn more information on our website. We have a full page dedicated to the reinvestment plan, and you can download copies of the other plans, the Puma plan,
Right.
the C3 plan, all those pieces of the
Right.
puzzle.
All the pieces that go along with this reinvestment plan are out on our website. Also, there is an online question and answer form that you can utilize to submit your questions. We want to make sure that you are informed and you have the best information, the most current information about this new venture here in Stillwater.
All right. And if you do have questions, use that form. You can post questions in the comment section. Maybe we can get to them in our next Money Monday segment, and have conversation with you.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you, Megan and Jasmine.
And we will have another Money Mondays coming up in July. And again, thank you for tuning in.